Hello everyone, as you can see it's back to the SNES. Picked up a number of games here for the console. I will call this a Street Fighter 2 special, for obvious reasons, you will see why. And I picked up my original SNES on release. I picked up the Street Fighter pack, with the console. Love the game. Played it on import round at my friend Mike's house, and as soon as the PAL release came out with the console, I picked up the Super Nintendo just before Christmas on the year of release. Played the original game to death, and I kind of played. I've been to Brewdog a few times over the last few years, and the one in Leeds has got a Street Fighter 2 on the SNES set up. I think it's Super Street Fighter 2, and I had some fun playing the game again. So I kind of always wanted the Japanese versions, because of the nice artwork, and I believe the non-PAL versions run a bit quicker as well. So again, went on an odyssey of picking these up, really, to be honest, over a number of months. I'll go through what I've actually got. None of these were particularly hugely expensive. Maybe the last two are edging towards that way, but they can all be picked up relatively cheaply. I suspect because there are that many copies of these games out there. To be honest, it was a big seller. So this is the one that started it all off, Street Fighter 2. You must have been living on a rock if you don't underneath a rock. Sorry if you don't know what Street Fighter 2 is, but it's a game that changed it all. And started off the revival of one-on-one fighting games, and it's a series that's still going now. I suspect it keeps Capcom afloat. Well, I say it keeps Capcom afloat. I know they've got they do all right. So yeah, as you can see, full colour manual. Quite nice. Better than the PAL versions, just some nice design there. These little bits of trim here and the colouring reminds me a bit of some of the Sonic manuals, but here you have Street Fighter in all its glory. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, next game I picked up was Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Now again, when this was released in PAL territories, I picked this up. It was really fucking expensive, I seem to remember. Import was insane. It's the same with Street Fighter 2 actually. When that came out, it was £70 upwards to pick that up on import from Japan, and I seem to remember that this was kind of like, £100 when it came out on import. Bloody expensive when it came out on cartridge over here, actually, to be honest. I think I paid about £60 for it, and that's what I mean. Games nowadays complain about them, but they're still not as prices are not as expensive as they were back then, really, to be honest. So there we have the box. Additionally, this allowed you to play as the 4 boss characters. It also had turbo modes in it as well, and again, really kind of quite nice and manual on this one as well. You've got all the boss characters broken down there, as well as the main characters. I just love this game. I think I played the original more, but this is the one. This is the Street Fighter game that I really kind of remember playing. You can still pick these games up and still remember all the special moves. Is an indication of how much I actually played the game, to be honest. So there we've got a nice bit of artwork in there. So again, another, you know, it didn't cost a fortune that at all. And so we're starting to get a bit more pricey now, but still not ridiculous. So we've got Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2 there. Again, I remember playing this, you know, on release. Strangely, I think at this point I could actually tell the SNES was starting to struggle with these games, to be honest. I seem to remember this one seemed to run substantially slower than Street Fighter 2 Turbo, to the point you could see it, to be honest. It's funny going back and playing these again. I can't see it. It must have been I was that in tune to playing this really fast. Going from Street Fighter Turbo to that must have been quite a big leap. But when I play it now, I can't see any speed issues, to be honest. But yeah, it's a very cool port. That, I mean, all the SNES ports are Street Fighter games. People have got a soft spot for the Mega Drive port, but I love the SNES versions more. Not to say that the Mega Drive version's bad, but I just thought, in terms of graphics, the sound, and the way the games pulled together, it just hung better on a Super Nintendo console. So again, this added some more characters, DJ, T-Hawk, Fei Long and Cammy. It seems like a strange thing, doesn't it? You associate Cammy so strongly with the series, and she didn't turn up until the third game. So there we go. There's a roster of characters, and again, nice pickup. That I actually like the artwork on the cartridge there. That's quite nice. Okay, so last but not least is Street Fighter 02. Now, you'll note with this copy, that's not my cartridge, that it's not a box version. Box versions are really expensive. And I was going to just hold out and pick one up eventually, but I came across this really cheap, so I picked it up. It's still not, cheap unboxed, but absolutely stunning port, to be honest. I think it was the last PAL release, but in terms of I like the Super Famicom version. I don't think I ever saw the PAL version in the shops. I think I'd moved on by that point to the PlayStation. But again, eBay retro gaming it kind of means you can pick these games up and go back. And as I said, an absolutely, it's a bit of a masterpiece. I would say it's an amazing port for the SNES, considering the power of the machine and the power of the arcade cabinet that this was based on. Apparently, it's got a special chip in it which does something with it does like it's got some decompression in there as well, compression techniques. Special chip in there or something like that, which means that it will, it can store a lot of those sprites in a compressed form. Strangely, this cartridge has got loading times on it, and it's purely to load up the soundtrack, from what I've heard. So I'm waffling there, aren't I? Really, but really nice to have a full set. I may pick up a box version of this at some point, but when I get me SNES kind of more permanently set up, I'll definitely get this cranked up for some kind of drunken games with my friends, because you just cannot beat this game. It's so much fun still. And yeah, really, really, really nice set to have in the collection. So cool. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.